There's a brand new fresh series for you. Again, obviously apologies I took us so long to get this rolling. We do have to the bottom right hand side of the map our blue Terran player from Psystorm Gaming. It is GuMiho. Top left hand side, the red Terran player from Mouse Sports will be HeroMarine. Best of 5 TVT for us here. Let's have a look to see how this is going to go. Look to see what's going to be happening as we go into game number 1 of this series. HeroMarine, well, GuMiho, I think, the heavy favourite in this best of 5, obviously, but HeroMarine, you never know what he might come up with. I mean, HeroMarine is a player who has been very good as of late, actually. Obviously, a very strong performance at IEM Katowice. And since then, since Katowice, I guess he hasn't done all too much. He's been streaming a lot, obviously. But at Katowice, he definitely showed us he could take on the very best. And, well, let's see if his TVT is going to be up to par with one of the Terran players who really has been killing it in TVT over in Korea. Victories against Bjorn and Alive, all sorts of great Terrans in recent times. As we set up into this, and let's see what's happening. Let's see what will happen. Let's see what's going to go down. So, Factory is going to be dropping into place. This is going to be a one-base opening from both players in the first stages of Abyssal Reef. Not really too much of a surprise, the aggressive opening. I'm intrigued by this depot to the side from GuMiho, not looking to wall off early at all. Instead, just going to be throwing down the depot to the top side of this base. So, I guess watchers will be able to obviously watch things jumping in, etc. It's just interesting. First Reaper starts to move out, the second Reaper is on the way in the production tab. GuMiho will move towards the middle of the map and try and pick up any sort of information. I mean, obviously, information right now could just be something coming across the map in the center. Maybe he runs into a proxy or something. As we're just going to be seeing the... again, trying to go up the ramp, obviously we'll just be able to disengage very easily. So, GuMiho is able to pull away from this sort of position right here. And in the meantime, we see Hellion production from both as well, still mirroring each other down to the starport. And, well, yes, Tech Lab building as well. So both players doing the exact same as the other, as GuMiho will hit the main base. He will see the timing of this starport. He actually may be able to kill an SCV and delay that slightly, because this double Reaper Hellion... Oh, this is going to be quite cool, but he's not going to make it. There's a good defense by HeroMarine to chase down that Reaper, because that was actually potentially a good escape if he'd just kind of followed it blindly up into this corner. There's a good response by HeroMarine, but again, a Reaper to trade away and kill an SCV, especially one building a starport, is pretty important, and we're going to be seeing Cyclone out back at home for GuMiho. So with a high ground advantage, etc., he should be pretty safe. We actually see these units coming in from the right hand side. Again, the Cyclone can be repaired, and so it's not really much of a threat. These couple of Reapers and whatever, the Hellion over here, you can see grenade goes down, and again pushing it back. GuMiho will stay very, very safe for now. Now going to gather his units a bit more together, as HeroMarine and GuMiho will both at the same time throw their command center down on the low ground. I mean, they are doing the exact same build. Raven on the way out of the starport. Sorry, I'm trying to open my window. That's why we didn't watch that little bit of a skirmish just then. Raven on the way initially on the starport. Another Cyclone 2 and another Viking now from GuMiho. Something which HeroMarine hasn't committed into just yet. He will opt for the second Raven. So a second Raven, a bit more harassment potential. It's possible that GuMiho goes a second Raven as well. We'll just get the Viking out initially in case it's a Cloak Banshee or something that he needs some sort of anti-air against. So that's possible. He's actually gone into a third Cyclone, so GuMiho really ramping up the pressure here. And as we're going to be seeing the Viking popping out and just coming down this low ground. Again, there's the Order Turret dropping and just trying to do a little bit more damage. Just delay the CC actually, which is obviously really nice from the get-go. Where did Raven go, though, from GuMiho? There it is. I was wondering where it gotten to. I was like, it's not over here. Where is it? A little bit strange. You're going to see 2 Cyclones hitting the center of the map against 2 Cyclones, the Raven and the Hellion. So it's a little bit of a trade-off here. Order Turret is obviously going to help massively. He'll try and get to the high ground advantage, and it won't quite change the fact that he is very much so kind of outnumbered here. Viking going to try and come in and save the day. I don't think he can fight 2 Cyclones, though. It's a big win for HeroMarine, because he's going to be able to, at this point... Well, did he lose a Raven? No, he kept his Ravens alive. That's important, because if he'd lost his Ravens, that could have been problematic, as we will see the Raven of GuMiho with the loop around. Just come in, picks off 4 workers, and just the 4 of them. But again, losing the Cyclones... I guess the thing is, though, the Cyclones, as the game continues, are not going to be quite so crazy. Cyclones are very much so an early game unit. They've got a lot of strength for early game because they're very chunky, they deal a lot of damage very quickly. So they're very powerful in the early game. And then they become very weak later on because they just die to pretty much everything. Tanks, marines. So, again, I mean, it's a shame that GuMiho loses them for now, but in about a minute or two, you won't ever notice the fact that he doesn't have the 2 Cyclones in his army, most likely. Unless, like, HeroMarine gets a push going, these couple of Cyclones could maybe take down a tank before they die. You're going to see GuMiho a bit of a slow response to pull away here. He'll lose 6 workers, but he's got a Viking in position. As you see more autos dropping down. I don't know why GuMiho's trying to fight this. He's losing so many more marines than he needs to be. But he will be able to chase down these ravens as well. So Raven's going to get chased. HeroMarine continue to pull backwards with this. The Viking should get the kill. And there it is. Raven goes down. Both of them. That's kind of huge moving forwards because, again, a lot of the TVT can be about map control. And the sky control... Sorry, I guess map control isn't the right word. Just sky control. If you dominate the skies, you can get Liberators up to push back siege tank lines. You can just push away medevacs during fights as well. And with the Ravens especially, you can burst through certain positions that just wouldn't be possible in the usual sort of situation, which is which is usually, when you try and burst through with something else. See, 4 Vikings here from HeroMarine are going to move over to the right side, maybe looking to snipe something down. Those Ravens are low on health, so if the Vikings get close, they could probably get a Raven kill and then back away quickly. I think that's what he's going to be looking for here. He goes in towards the main. Now GuMiho sees it, though. He should probably keep the Ravens away. Don't think that's the smartest decision to run in there with the low health Ravens. 2 more Vikings still coming up again, really just focusing on the control in the skies. We don't see any production on the starport just yet from HeroMarine. He has thrown down a 3rd command center, which is the difference between the players at the moment. 3rd command center versus no 3rd command center, but HeroMarine might struggle to deal with this attack coming across the map. He's currently going to use his starport to build a new reactor, so he's going to be outnumbered in the skies, so instantly these Vikings are almost like dead supply. Because, yeah, they'll trade out slightly, but they're not going to do their job. They're not going to do what they were made to do, because he has less of them. So instantly that's a little bit of an advantage for GuMiho, plus the fact he's already ahead in army supply as well. And he's the aggressor with Stim about to finish. Well, both players are going to have Stim. But as he gets Stim finished, it does change a lot as well. HeroMarine's going to push on forwards into this. Auto turrets need to drop down immediately here for GuMiho. I'm surprised the Vikings are not landing. Wow, HeroMarine. GuMiho, I don't know who to talk about because GuMiho drops the Vikings down very late, but he does in the end drop them down, so he does clean up. Both Ravens survive on like 3 health and 15 health. That's crazy. In fact, the Vikings too. All of these air units are surviving. 1 HP Viking, 3 HP Viking. A trade from both players, but GuMiho will come out of this ahead. 47 to 29 army. And as you've seen, the tank just going to siege and move down to the low ground. HeroMarine maybe looking to keep on being aggressive here. Reinforcements out of GuMiho. I mean, these Vikings, if they want to fight, they'll probably have to land themselves once more. I think right now GuMiho will not look for a fight as much as he will just look to, again, watch kind of the army of his opponent here and see what's happening. You're going to see an unsiege from HeroMarine. Just going to pull back slightly. I'm not going to see GuMiho committing into this as he himself pulls some units up. Just in scan from GuMiho. Because, I mean, he doesn't really need to scan this because he's got the Vikings to see what's there. I guess maybe he just wants to see if there's anything else behind it that he isn't seeing. We'll see those tanks go siege over here. Whoa, SCV's being pulled down to the low ground. HeroMarine just going to try and bust through this a second time. Vikings just going to land instantly this time. As, I mean, if nothing else, these SCVs are going to do so much. Tank fire from GuMiho is good, by the way. He's target firing the tanks of his opponent, which helps out massively in terms of shutting this down. As you do see, HeroMarine wins the fight. He actually has a +1 armor upgrade that GuMiho does not. He wins the fight, but does he really win the fight? Like, he lost 19 SCVs, so his economy is going to be trouble. I guess the thing is, GuMiho is only on 2 bases, right? So, for HeroMarine, if he can actually HeroMarine, yeah, HeroMarine. Oh my god, Liberators are going to fight against these Marines. They actually are going to kill the Marines, and they aren't going to go down. They will not. Oh, they will actually kill that siege tank with a couple of Marines here as well. Yeah, GuMiho's just 2 bases now. He kind of completely negated the fact that this was 3 base against 2, so it kind of explains why the players are playing as they are. GuMiho very aggressively, and HeroMarine very eager to push those units back time and time again. HeroMarine now goes into an armory looking towards 2/2 upgrades, while GuMiho still only just now starts his +1 armor, so 4th and 5th racks as well. I'm surprised he did this off of just 3 racks up until now, but Throws down extra racks. I mean, it is weird because actually, if you look at the structures, both of them, in fact, HeroMarine is ahead on the structure count, 5 racks against 3. So really, GuMiho went for like a 2-base all-in with not even the kind of the full 2-base production, which obviously doesn't really quite add up. It doesn't quite really make sense. 2 Marines will stim ahead of the rest of the army now from GuMiho. Coming in towards the upper left-hand side to see what they can get up to. That 1 Marine of HeroMarine just going to sit here as well. And again, a couple of Ravens, a couple of Liberators will push forwards, and we'll see that Marine just getting picked off. So the issue though for HeroMarine, how do you really fight this? We're going to see all the turrets coming down. The Liberators are going to try and help out, but GuMiho just cannot engage into this position. He's also got so many units just in the back that aren't joining in yet. And once again, now he's 12 workers down. He's I mean, he may as well just lift this base up and drop it to the 3rd. Actually, when he does that, he'll be able to drop a whole bunch of mules, which might help him a lot. GuMiho with reinforcements, a little bit out of position. He's just going to try and siege up here. And he will actually get a very good shot into the center of those Marines. That's a huge deal. The tanks are not sieged yet from HeroMarine. Nice split forwards with the Marines of GuMiho to minimize the damage. GuMiho is going to win this fight in the middle of the map. That one tank in the back that's just hit into the middle of those Marines just put everything on such a kind of a weaker situation. It really, really hurt. As we're going to see Marines stepping in again. The tank fire is going to be so important. But again, HeroMarine has the extra armor upgrade right now. That would be GG. HeroMarine takes game number 1 against GuMiho. 2. Bottom left hand side of the map, our red Terran player. Give it up for HeroMarine. His opponent to the bottom right hand side from Psystorm Gaming is GuMiho. GuMiho. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Alright then. So, as we set up into this, let's see how we continue on. TVT Game 2. TVT the matchup where we're expecting to see a variety of build orders and different bits and pieces in these early stages. So, we're going to set up towards this. This Rax is going to get thrown down in the main base to begin. And you just see that Rax dropping down. Alright, so double gas from both again. Both of them are going to open the one base playstyle and look to see what they can get up to. Reaper is on the way out here from HeroMarine, and Reaper is on the way out here from GuMiho also. I mean, we're probably expecting them to just be mirroring each other for the early stages of this game. Obviously, no real reason to do anything too different. Generally, these double gas openings on one base do lead you into that factory and starport in a very similar time. The difference is sometimes based on kind of when you build a Cyclone. Some people don't build the Hellion, some people do. Some people build a tech lab and on the barracks, or some people do on the factory. Some people will sometimes go Cloak Banshee as well, which can also be a bit of a difference. We'll see GuMiho hops up, and he will look to take this fight here. It's going to be advantage GuMiho, right? He kills this Reaper. Not actually sure how he got away like that. Anyways, this Reaper is going to pull away over to the right-hand side. This series, by the way, guys, is being played on US Central, so just in case you're wondering about the ping and latencies of the players, this is being played on the North American server in the central areas. So there's going to be seeing 2 Reapers and a Hellion just pushing forwards, and it's a second Reaper dead already for HeroMarine. GuMiho taking a good advantage already. I mean, right now there's only 1 Hellion up for HeroMarine. His Cyclone will finish soon, but I mean, it just means so much potential pressure here. And actually, the Hellion of HeroMarine goes to the low ground. Well, this is weird. Cyclone should just come straight across the map from GuMiho, of course. I mean, why wouldn't it? Because at this point, he knows he's got an advantage in terms of units and units across the map. So, here we go. Cyclone will stop. We'll fight this Hellion. HeroMarine has to turn that around. It will die. He's actually going to pull it back. The Hellion of GuMiho will back away. The Reapers too. This was a very successful kind of super early game in the early stages. What can I say? No, I can't say that. I can't say. I'm not good with F's and f's, and I can try and say it, but I just can't say it. It's like free trees. Free trees. Is that it? Is that right? The problem is when I'm trying to talk fast, I just can't do that without completely screwing myself up. I know I don't say free and free correctly. I really just... it's something I'm trying to work on so much. You have no idea how many times I go to sleep at night just saying it over and over to myself. I'm just... It's difficult, man. It's difficult. It's like an accent thing that I just can't shake. It's really frustrating. Oh, he's just him as an auto turret in the back here. But I think there's bigger issues, honestly, at the moment for HeroMarine, who only has... Well, actually, he does have 2 Cyclones. But these Cyclones are taking more damage simply because there is more units here for GuMiho. He'll push forwards now. We'll actually see SCV's been pulled in. Nice grenade. He's just going to keep targeting the Cyclones. I mean, if the Cyclones die, then the SCVs will die afterwards. So this is completely fine. Oh, that Cyclone's stuck in the front. That's unfortunate, honestly. Somehow GuMiho doesn't get as much done here as I thought he would. I really thought this would be a bit more. It's actually really good by HeroMarine. Pulling those SCVs in the way he did basically just saved him there. And yeah, the micro just wasn't quite good enough for GuMiho to take advantage of it. So that was that. As we do have the one Cyclone making it back home. This Raven from HeroMarine goes back across the map. Will be unlikely to get any too much further damage done. But actually, after all is said and done, HeroMarine is up by 4 workers. And his orbital finishes just slightly sooner as well. And we've seen the Raven fly straight through here. That's a little bit of a mistake. And the auto turret will just get 1 or 2 workers. Nothing too major though, so... Again, just going to be seeing the units pulling down to the low round. Anyways, yes, the server rules. The server rules are NA Central for Korea versus Europe. That's... You can't you can't change that. 100% can't change that. It's basically just fair server rules with a bias to EU, in the sense that if an EU versus an NA player happens, it's EU. But if it's Korea versus Europe, it's 100% will always be on the NA server. On the NA Central server, which is where the latencies are fairest. Cyclones trade out in the center of the map, although it does take an auto turret from GuMiho. Whereas HeroMarine's army? It's in Vikings and a Raven. This could be interesting. If this auto turret comes down, if he's able to bust through this... I mean, he's going to have to go through auto turrets of his opponent as well. Auto turrets will drop on either side. He'll actually target down a Viking, which is nice, but he also loses a Viking of his own. And the work count from HeroMarine still just 4 or 5 ahead of his opponent at the moment. So GuMiho, not in the best of positions still just yet. The rest of these units just going to pull back in towards the center of the map, and we're just going to be seeing Stimpack coming down from both sides as well. So HeroMarine starts up with Stimpack here. Back on the other side of the map, GuMiho will start with Stimpack 2, and again, Vikings, the Raven, all joining up together to get set and ready to go. So many units here for HeroMarine in the skies. So GuMiho's struggling a bit, man. GuMiho is definitely struggling a little bit here. As you see, wow, he's going to lose even more in the skies right now. Being pushed away, this Raven's in trouble, man. He needs to be very careful with this Raven. He's going to lose it. He might just have to throw down an auto turret right now. Vikings taking more damage. Still some units left up here from GuMiho, but what's he going to do? Attack into defensive siege tanks? Don't think so. Don't think that's quite how that works, as we're going to be seeing. Well, auto turret will go down to fight these Vikings. He will land, has to cancel the CC, though. So the third base delayed. Meanwhile, back at home, third base is finished for HeroMarine. He's going into his extra production now, as is GuMiho. HeroMarine just has every advantage, and this was nice from GuMiho. He does take down the air control of his opponent. Raven survives. Getting rid of the Vikings alone is nice. And that's just going to be seen again, the Raven coming up to the top side of the map. So Raven comes up to the top, scan into the main base. And we're just going to be seeing the, again, the units here just looking to see what's going to happen. Man, if GuMiho was to go down OT, if GuMiho dropped to the lower bracket so early in this event, that would really be quite crazy. It really would be. Raven will go down to these Vikings. And again, Marines and tanks. Just going to be gathering together, maybe looking to get some damage done towards this third base. The thing is, though, there's tanks for HeroMarine, right? And that's always going to be the issue, although he doesn't siege up in time. And with that one Viking here, it will be GuMiho to do actually quite a significant amount of damage. As you can see, he's actually going to take down 2, and now he's going to get a 3rd tank as well. He targets down way too late here. The Vikings now come in from HeroMarine though, and you will have better numbers. Liberators here, a little bit too late honestly from his opponent, but now it actually could switch the way that this goes in the skies. It will actually switch the way this goes in the skies. The Vikings spend so long targeting down Liberators that he now actually will just straight up lose this on the up there. No stim from GuMiho just yet. He has stim, but he's not using his stim pack. And he is going to end up killing the 3rd base. Right, it's going to go down. It's going to get very close at least. SCVs are being shot down by the siege tanks. The 3rd base, is it going to die? It's not being repaired any longer. What's it at? 15, 14 health. Removal will come in to repair. These tanks keeping each other alive right now, but there's nothing else in the skies to shoot it down. It's a big save for HeroMarine. As the tanks on siege and pull away from GuMiho, he does take a big lead in this game with this engagement. That was so crucial because GuMiho was really trailing in this. So to kind of start coming back a little bit is so important, and this is exactly what he's been able to do. +1/+1 upgrades. Over halfway done now from GuMiho. +1/+1 just starting out from HeroMarine's perspective. Scan just wants to see, does see the 3rd base still alive, and he actually sees it floating up to the north side of the map, which is, well, generally actually harder to... It's difficult. In this situation, it might be easy to hold because GuMiho is pushing so strongly through the center, but it's going to be much harder to hold against drops and multi-pronged aggression than if the 3rd base was over here. GuMiho ahead on the upgrades as well, and now all of a sudden everything is starting to really go in his favor. As we see the tanks thinking about how they want to siege up. Still, this orbital being repaired. And those few tanks are going to back away a little bit. GuMiho has been a little bit too overzealous. He's stuck out in the middle of the map with these tanks for way too long. And he's going to lose all of these, so GuMiho loses quite a lot here. He's got more Marines coming through the center. He's got the +1 advantage now. About to be 1-1, and that's going to mean the Marines of his opponent will just melt while he does, well, the melting. So that's nice. Eventually, though, he has to turn around because a tank on the high ground will keep HeroMarine safe. GuMiho will just scan to figure out what's happening, continue to rally units across here. He just wants to keep going until he breaks his opponent. GuMiho looking to tie this up one game piece. +2/+2 is starting up from GuMiho as well. So furthering those upgrades. Looks as though HeroMarine wanted to go for a large drop, but now instead he just unloads on the low ground. He's going to have to get in position here shortly because at the moment GuMiho is sieging up and stimming up in towards his HeroMarine's natural. HeroMarine is in trouble, man. This 3rd base is going to go down. I mean, I didn't look as though he was ever going to get the 3rd base ready to go again in this game. We'll see one of these tanks getting taken down. I mean, at this point, GuMiho just stims into the main. Yes, he loses his tanks, but he's just going to kill so much, and then eventually he can just lift up and leave as well. And that's going to be now. I thought he might be able to do a bit more, like getting towards this mineral line, but he's just going to play the safer way and just, you know, keep enough units alive to back off. And just look to see what is next. Scan comes down. HeroMarine will type out GG. Because this is 3 bases fully saturated of GuMiho, and because it took us a while to get going, but now we are going. We have got to the top right-hand side of the map in Game 3 of this series. GuMiho, our Blue Terran player, who has just tied things up, but was behind. And this very easily could have been a 2-0 advantage right now for HeroMarine if things hadn't just gotten a little bit out of control towards his 3rd base at the end of that game, or I guess not towards the very end, but in the kind of the last few minutes. But because GuMiho was like, you know, he was down to 3rd base for a while. So he was down a 3rd. He was missing a lot, GuMiho. Like, he was really missing quite a lot. And it was difficult for him to sort of figure it out as Reaper on the way up from both players. You can see what they can get up to. So, Reaper coming out. Now, this is a very different build order from both compared to game number 1 and 2. This time, both players will go for the later 2nd gas, meaning that they have taken an expansion in the earlier stages of the game. So, taking an expansion and obviously looking just to expand just in general a little bit faster. As you see, the reactor is going to be coming down on this barracks and a factory coming up here as well. So, factory going to finish up in just a few moments' time. Going to see Reaper on Rio. Well, actually, GuMiho was not going for the Reaper versus Reaper there. He was starting to target down that supply depot, which was a little bit of a strange one. With Divine on the way up from this factory, and as the starport starts up as well, we'll just be seeing this initial setup here from HeroMarine. Looking pretty good for him so far still. GuMiho just hidden away to the side here with this Reaper. I mean, do you see HeroMarine is just going to be coming across the map with that Reaper as well. Looking to see if you can just get a little bit more damage done. Cyclone going to be finishing up in the near future. Starport on the way with a medevac. And you see the supply depot being placed to the right hand side of the map. Yeah, Cyclone out. I mean, both players are actually doing pretty much the same as each other. The Cyclone just a little bit later here for HeroMarine. Not sure why exactly. Maybe just things delayed. I'm not sure. So he'll go into a second Cyclone right away, and this Reaper will get away from the Cyclone initially as well. Obviously, the Cyclone, a pretty powerful force and something you don't really want to run into kind of unawares. Viking starts to build up from GuMiho, as we do see. This medevac, Widowmine, and 6 Marines inside of it. It's going to come up to the top side, and well, this Reaper GuMiho going to push in and is going to be picking off a Marine. So Marine does go down. And the Cyclone will get rid of a Reaper there as well. So Cyclone gets rid of a Reaper. We're going to see more Marines just unloading, and they are going to be taking down one more Marine. And again, these Marines and Cyclones just going to continue to work their way through the supply depot. So depots will be getting dropped right here. And actually the reactor as well. Here we're under some heavy pressure. We'll have to push forwards. He's got a second Cyclone now, which will help a massive amount as he continues to fight. The nice micro as well. He's actually going to take down these Cyclones. He's going to win the fight on the Cyclones. No, he's just behind. He lifts up, he drops, he lifts up. This Cyclone drops. Wants to lock on. Meanwhile, there is a drop across the map, which, well, honestly, has been dealt with very well so far. This medevac goes down as well, so this was definitely a success. Well, you know, HeroMarine takes a worker lead because he was actually able to kill some workers during this. GuMiho killed the army though, so he's actually got a, you know, if he counter attacks GuMiho, he's got a lot of potential. He's got triple Cyclone against double. Actually, maybe by the time he gets across the map, he wouldn't have that much of an advantage. Maybe not that much of an advantage. Anyways, here we go. HeroMarine starts to pull up towards the upper right hand side with this medevac. So medevac moving in towards the upper right. And in the meantime, again, just a couple of those racks coming down from GuMiho setting up into the next stage. We do see the third CC from HeroMarine yet again. And he obviously just wants to play free CC very quickly in pretty much every single one of these games so far. Whereas GuMiho will take that kind of differing approach and just go for kind of the more aggressive follow-up. 2 Cyclones in position will be enough to turn this away, and HeroMarine is thinking about where he might be able to get something done. Scans into the main base too to see what's up as 8 Marines just walk up into this ramp again. I mean, that's going to be a dead reactor. It'll slow down some of the Marine production for a while. I mean, pretty much half the Marine production right now. Raven pops out though, and he'll just trade a Marine for a Marine and lifts up, backs away. It's good information. Did he see the third CC? No, he doesn't. He actually doesn't see the racks built either, so he doesn't quite know what this is, GuMiho. Probably wants to get tech labs up on these racks as well very shortly, and he's actually going to make a push across the map. 20 army supply in the lead. I mean, he's been trading so well, and I guess, did he just shut down the other medevac? He just shut down the medevac that had units on it. Oh, well, that is painful. He's going to knock down these rocks now. And I guess he's going to start moving out into the map just nice and quickly. I guess that's why. I mean, obviously, right now, it would have been faster for him to just walk. But in the future, for reinforcements, it'll be faster if these rocks are down. So, here we go. Going to knock them down. Going to push across, see what he can get up to. When you look at the unit tab, he's a tank ahead. He's double Cyclone ahead. He's got a Viking against the Raven, which is... he's still got 17 Marines against 7 as well. So, in general, this is very, very good as HeroMarine is spreading his units out so thinly as well to make sure he can defend this. And as GuMiho is going to take down these rocks too. Is he going to try and elevate her up into the main? I guess he's got 2 medevacs. I guess he does. Marine's going to elevate... Oh, he's got 2 more medevacs. Oh, okay. He's just drop another Marine out so he can lift another Cyclone. Hurt Marine. It's taking GuMiho a little while to figure this out, how he wants to do this. There's 1 tank here. He's going to fly right on top, though. No, he's not. He's going to back away. Wow. GuMiho. That's a little bit scary. He was about to, like, drop on top of everything. I've seen him do this against... Mario back in the IEM Katowice qualifiers way, way back in January. And, well, let's just put it this way. It didn't go too well for him then when he dropped his entire army onto Mario's army. So that was one of those moments where I was like, well, he could have maybe tried to go for it, but it probably wouldn't have worked out too beautifully. Tanks in the back here will siege, and so this third CC will be kept away. Oh, and some Marines taking some shots from HeroMarine. Won't lose anything, but taking some shots, and all these units just going to get set to kind of load up and escape once again. Oh, leaves the tank behind rather than a Cyclone. He's going to unload. There we go. Gets the tank. This Cyclone is less valuable than the siege tank, of course, and actually this Cyclone will be able to escape as well. Going to drop into the natural now, though, and GuMiho. He just finds the opportunity. Like, he's just been looking around for an opportunity like this for a long time. Look at this supply cooldowns from HeroMarine. Those cooldown supplies are not pretty. In fact, those cooldown supplies could, if they get killed, that's a huge supply block that's just waiting to happen. In fact, he's already supply blocked. Stim comes down. Fastest Stim will help here. There's 21 SCVs going down already. This tank is going to get cleaned out, but there's also this drop in the main base, which is doing damage. That's why a lot of these workers got killed as well. HeroMarine, he's got the 1-1 upgrade advantage as it stands right now. That's not going to last forever. Combat shields is finished for GuMiho, which also makes him trade just a bit better for the Marines here towards the end. And a 20 worker lead is a nice lead at the moment as he kills off even more SCVs in the back of this mineral line. The medevac will probably go down. There it goes. And that will be the end of this. And while HeroMarine holds a slight army supply advantage, 1-1 upgrades will even out now. The thing is, HeroMarine doesn't have an army. Like, he's got no follow-up upgrades, whereas that's something GuMiho is investing into. And I mean, if for HeroMarine to get it, to actually do some damage here, it's going to be very difficult. Medevac goes down again. GuMiho maybe throwing away a bit more army than he should be at this point. Because I think one of the things that HeroMarine should go for now is just a straight-up counter-attack. He has got 4 more tanks than his opponent, so HeroMarine, while it isn't looking pretty for him, it is, it has potential because he's killed so much. He has killed so much. As GuMiho was once ahead quite heavily on army supply, that time has passed now. Rack's currently relocating factory as well onto a different tech lab. I mean, the last thing you want to reposition right now is a factory on a tech lab. We're going to see Vikings do find these couple of medevacs. Marines will start to stim in. SCVs will pull because GuMiho knows that this is a do or die sort of defense. And he is doing and not dying. 15 SCVs go down. I mean, that's enough of a cleanup for him. These medevacs will also get hunted by the Vikings. Oh, actually, meanwhile, dropping the nap in the third base. So HeroMarine isn't done just yet. He's going to be in that position we saw kind of GuMiho in just previously. Vikings still looking to hunt the medevacs down. Tanks will come forwards, and it'll just be a stim in. He's still got combat shields against no combat shields, which, for the Marine trades here is hugely important. As again, Vikings helping to clean out. And now the army supplies do start to level out, and GuMiho still holds a 12 worker advantage. He still holds the fact that he's going into 2-2 upgrades against just 1-1 and no further production. Medevac's now getting caught mid-map. I thought it was bad that they were kind of he'd already lost a couple. Now he loses 2 more. And that isn't very pretty, as again, Vikings still chasing forwards. The Marines still looking to chase forwards as well. And as combat shields completes for GuMiho, he's just outnumbered now more so than anything else. Tanks will siege, and well, this fight will turn to happen once more. Is GuMiho stimmed? I think he was very late in stimming there. But that's not something you usually see a turn play for getting the stim, is it? No, not really at all. GG's. How we all feeling? How we all doing? Welcome to the stream if you're just joining us. It's the final day of the Takes Penthouse party number 2. And I hope you guys are going to be ready to enjoy this final day with us. It's been a long week, I suppose. A long week. Weekend, I guess. Really is what I should say. Has been a long weekend. Gas being taken. And we will see the racks coming down as well from GuMiho, so same thing across the map from HeroMarine. Gas, then a racks. We just set up into this. We'll wait to see this. That's what we want to see. The second gas coming down. So back to kind of one base aggression here after Proxima Station. Going in towards this, again, sort of just double gas play for the opening. Looking to see which of these players can kind of try and take an advantage in the early stages. Again, this TVT's been pretty back and forth, playing moments in each game where either both players could be argued to have an advantage, and both players could be argued to be putting themselves into decent positions. As we do have the Again, just some extra Raxes finishing up here from GuMiho. And a factory will drop down in the main base as well, so setting up into this Reaper on the way from both players, and again, HeroMarine, this factory is going to be on the way too. We'll see if there's going to be anything interesting or different. I mean, so far we've just sort of seen the Raven play after a couple of Reapers and the Hellion, the Cyclone. I mean, differences would tend to be something along the lines of, for example, you know, something like, let me think of a good example here, like, For example, you know, going into like a Cloak Banshee, which probably shouldn't take me so long to come up with that one, but so we'll see what happens. Cyclone on the way, Hellion on the way from GuMiho. Second Hellion. So that is a little bit different, and that is maybe a bit indicative of maybe something that isn't this Raven-based follow-up. Just skipping the Cyclone in general is a little bit strange. It's not quite what you would expect nowadays. You just go Raven. I don't know why he skips the Cyclone. Raptor now on the Rax. Raven out of HeroMarine. I can't quite myself put 2 and 2 together just yet, I guess. It's strange. I mean, the thing is nowadays, like, Reaper Hellion pressure just doesn't work out so well because these Cyclones are used so often, and it's just a build that's become kind of taking a backseat in the metagame for a reason, you know? You see this Reaper still trading, will be able to pick up an SCV there. This other Reaper around the back is going to come in and pick up that kill. So Reaper does get taken down, and again, we're going to see the Cyclone is on the way up on the factory. You're going to see the reactor building on the barracks as well. Reaper, Hellion, Cyclone just coming in towards the top side of the map, as we still see obviously both players just looking for potential to be aggressive here, so see what they can get going. Revolves a little bit. I mean, now GuMiho does have a Cyclone out. It's a pretty even fight over here. GuMiho is missing his Reapers as they are across the map, causing some trouble right now. Auto turret comes down. No auto turret from HeroMarine just yet for whatever purpose. HeroMarine has a second Cyclone though, which does change things up a bit. The Reapers actually from GuMiho lose out to the fight. Now he's going to have to pull a couple SCVs forward. He does have another auto turret available. He fights this first one. Does he want to throw down another auto turret though? I mean, I guess he probably does, but he wants to throw it down in the right location to make sure he's really going to make the most of this. Ravens have to back away now because of this lock-on from the Cyclones. This is awkward because actually, I mean, these Cyclones, he trades out 1 for 1. Auto turret's come down. He's going to throw down one auto turret, and the second one, he gets the Raven kill. Did he get the Cyclone kill too? No, not quite. The kill on the Raven's obviously pretty massive. And altogether here, units lost will just be slightly favourable. Oh, he lost a Raven himself, actually. Sorry, GuMiho did lose a Raven. Oh, this is pretty even then. This is very even. Slightly worse for GuMiho in terms of resources. Very minor differences. Another Cyclone in the back here, super low on HP, and that's something which probably means you're going to have to see these units backing away. 2 Cyclones, low HP. And these units are... Cyclones generally are a unit which you can back away with very easily, very quickly, at multiple points of time. And that was a perfect example of it. Like, because they move fast and they generally tend to hang out in the back, you can pull them away on very low hit points, which is very frustrating to see, you know, if you're GuMiho or cheering on GuMiho or something here. But it's something that both players are going to be able to do, of course, with that unit. And you see Chextra Rax coming down from GuMiho, and we have to see what the follow-up is here from HeroMarine. He has been very preferential towards 3 bases quickly in this series so far. We'll see if that's going to be the case once more, if this time he will opt for, instead, the extra barracks. And he was about to throw down the extra barracks, and now he decides not to. So maybe he will decide to go for the 3rd command center. No, he will throw down the extra barracks. Okay. Extra Rex comes down, just obviously wanted to make a bit more, a few more units first. As HeroMarine is once again pushing across the map. Scanning the main, he sees 5 racks of GuMiho. So he'll realize how aggressive this is. GuMiho actually took a while to actually build another Raven. So now he's going to have double Raven again. With double Vikings on the way, he's going to be at a even-ish sort of count. If he stays defensive, then he should have enough to defend in the skies and to actually just hold an advantage up there in general, so... Well, going to be seeing the Cyclones looking to see what they can get up to next. Lone Marine and GuMiho just move on forwards, and another Viking pops out from GuMiho to sort of set up here. 2 Vikings and 2 Ravens then. These 2 Cyclones are HeroMarine coming down the right hand side, and the third base as well, just looking around to see what's up. Or SCV moving over there to look around and see what's up. Doesn't build the third base yet, and that's what the Cyclones are going to check for. Checks it, doesn't see it. The SCV hidden in the back. He's just going to make a depot for now. Well, that works. Get himself some map control, and it looks as though both players are going to opt for the more passive kind of follow-up now. For the next couple of moments, in the sense that they're not going to do much for the next couple of moments. I mean, the more passive follow-up is maybe not the best race to use because they're both going 5 racks and 2 bases, which generally is the kind of the aggressive clash of horns between these players. Cyclones don't want to move too far forwards. Tanks in range. And just again using the Cyclones to create the early game sort of presence on this map up until this point. Yeah, and in terms of units lost, both players have lost similar amounts, more or less here. Maybe GuMiho just a little bit more. Again, he has got that SCV in position. He wants to drop down the 3rd CC, and that might just be the difference of having a small income lead throughout the game. Oh, wow, he's actually had way more income lead throughout the game. Just a point, I'm not really sure why that would be. I don't think, HeroMarine's really been pulling away workers or anything. Just been the way that the game has kind of played out so far. Just GuMiho has slight advantages, and those slight advantages do definitely do a lot for him. Marine's pushing out the 2 Cyclones still to the left. Actually, Cyclone's going to run into each other right now. It's going to be GuMiho who gets the initial trade-off. And he has the health to continue as well. He's going to stim a Marine in here. And these Cyclones are going to keep pushing forwards. He will lose one of them. These Cyclones just keep trading 1 for 1, like game after game after game. It's kind of funny, man. It's kind of funny. Marines, tanks coming down the right-hand side, going to keep on pushing. More medevacs to reinforce this. A lot of the army of HeroMarine positioned to the right side in terms of Sky Army. He's got 6 to 3 Vikings, so GuMiho probably have to give up air control a little bit, but he does have a double point defense drone. Quadruple point defense drone almost, which does make quite a difference, and he should... Okay, this is not a position he wants to drop into. GuMiho turns away, the medevac throw down. GuMiho, what have you done? Oh wow, what a disaster. He didn't use a single point defense drone, he lost both of his Ravens. He didn't use anything on the Ravens, actually. What an absolute disaster. I mean, that's why you almost always want to scan ahead of a drop like that, because the last thing you want to have happen is that you start dropping into so many Marines, and now HeroMarine will look to take advantage of this, stemming forwards with a few Marines already. This tank manages to pull away. Vikings will land to take down a tank on the high ground. Reinforcements from GuMiho, +1 on either side of this. Now the tank siege up from HeroMarine. There's no way GuMiho can fight this. HeroMarine has way too much. Tank goes down. Marines and the Cyclones stim over to the right side. And this is looking so good for our Red Terran player, for our German player. GuMiho just really screwed up that drop to monumental levels. And now he's in a bit of a tough position. I mean, now he's in a really tough spot. I mean, this 3rd base... I mean, again, he didn't even have to take a fight, right? Because he's got a 3rd base against no 3rd base. All GuMiho has to do is sit back, relax, and he's going to have the time of his life in this game. And now he loses the 3rd CC because he lost so much. And he just has there's just an unstoppable army marching in towards his natural. He's going to double drop across the map and 2 more medevacs as well to just see what he can do. He'll pull SCVs forwards to do what he can, but tanks are target firing down the Marines. Tank sieges on the ramp. Another CC is about to die. HeroMarine is going to get rid of one of these medevacs immediately. These 2 pretty much the only hope, but it won't happen. GG. HeroMarine takes game 4. Game 5 of this best of 5. We have gone the distance. To the bottom right-hand side of the map from Mouse Sports, our Blue Terran player, HeroMarine, ties it up. And I would say that's kind of... I mean, he could have won the series at this point, because he was very far ahead in Game 2. But again, to be fair, I think GuMiho was very far ahead in Game number 4 just then, and then he sort of messed it up, so... Messy play on either side. Winner of this will advance to play Cyril in the winner bracket semi-finals, and with how Cyril has been playing... I have to say, I think Cyril would probably be the favorite for the series, but, well, you never know. You never know what either of these guys could pull off. HeroMarine's TVZ is pretty awesome, actually, recently. And GuMiho has actually already showcased this weekend for us that there's a lot of interesting Terran versus Zerg build orders he's been using. He's a Sidestorm Gaming player to the top left side. Remember, whoever loses here is not out of the tournament. The actual loser will play against sort of in lower bracket round 1. So that's going to be happening. And that'll be quite interesting to see how it plays out as well. This Reaper then, just having a little bit of a look around. Looking to see if there's any opportunities to do much here. And factory's going to be finishing up in a few moments. Reactor will finish on the barracks very shortly. And the CC to finish very soon as well for HeroMarine. So, CC will be finishing, and from there, yeah, not too much else going on. Cyclone on the way up. The fact that both players every game have gone for basically the same idea behind their build orders. Like, you know, each game they've either both gone double gas one base, or they've gone for the expansion. In fact, for the most part, they've really mirrored each other for the first 5 minutes of each game so far. You know, they haven't really made any major kind of major diversions, which isn't too surprising. There's kind of a very kind of generally well agreed upon best way to open in TVT nowadays, which is what they've kind of been doing for the Raven play, etc. But yeah, it's been interesting. So we set up into this, and we do see actually a little bit of a difference. Second Cyclone from GuMiho versus the Tech Lab being built on this factory for HeroMarine. So he's going to really rush into this Raven, whereas actually GuMiho is going to go for the medevac. He's going to go for the aggressive sort of push at the front, poke at the front, with Marine Cyclones to look to see what he can get up to. So let's see if he can get a lot done, as again, Raven on the way out from HeroMarine will actually be a big part of the defense. While, of course, again, GuMiho will just look to pressure the front with 2 Cyclones and these Marines. I mean, actually jumping up here for the Reaper HeroMarine, what he does see is the starport not on a tech lab. He sees he sees a tech lab building. But the starport not on a tech lab is great information already, because that is very indicative of the fact that there probably is not going to be, you know, a Raven right away, which again means probably either a Viking or a medevac. And so he knows those are the options that GuMiho has to be aggressive in this game. Cyclone's going to push out the front, and as 2 Cyclones arrive, well, a couple of Marines are unfortunate enough to take the grunt of, or take the kind of the full frontal damage there initially. As the medevac arrives too, what is there? The Raven will obviously swing things in HeroMarine's favor, but the double Cyclone will swing things towards GuMiho's favor. So a lot of this down to Micro, who can take the better engagement. Grenade will go down. This auto turret will do damage. He'll just pull away from that. That's the good thing about well, good thing about an auto turret when you're the player playing against it. You can pull away as your way to defend against it, basically. Now some Micro will start as 2 Cyclones take on 1. The siege tank coming out, and in the end, it's just been pretty even trades. HeroMarine 40 SCVs to the 37. His army supply is still way up, though, as he'll be setting up into a double tank 8 Marine drop in the very near future as well. Still, with the double Cyclone here, you can get so much done, and that's what we're seeing right now. Just continue to pressure around the map. Siege tank is out of position to help out too much, as SCVs will be pulled in. Oh, the tank gets the shot on both Cyclones. That's huge, especially if you're going to continue being aggressive here with like another drop. The last thing you want is to be losing 2 Cyclones, which are just going to do so much for you in an engagement. Alright, then here we go. 8 Marines, 2 tanks as the follow-up. He'll drop towards the main base. I mean, obviously the idea for GuMiho so far is that he's been cleaning out a lot of the Marines, etc. to make this drop more effective, to make it so that there's less units available for his opponents. So, setting up into this, look to see how it's going to go. Look to see what will happen as 2 medevac's going to fly down the right-hand side of the map. So, these 2 medevac's going to come down the right, and, well, HeroMarine's not really in the best positions here to deal with this. I mean, his tanks aren't sieged on the low ground, but he's going to be attacking into a siege position. It's going to be behind a mineral line as well. This is really nice because it's going to really choke up, you know, it's really going to choke up kind of, you know, HeroMarine trying to fight on in and fight forwards into this. So, this is problematic. The engineering bay getting taken down, or at least being fired upon. Here you go, SCVs. Nice split away there, actually, to make sure that they don't get the center of those SCVs targeted down. Marine's currently fighting as well. Auto turret to the side to help out, and he will kill that auto turret. And he'll get not even one more shot onto the Marines, though. GuMiho's aggression not working out. He does take an SCV lead from this, going up into 5 racks. He will look to be aggressive again. Well, in the meantime, HeroMarine is building that 3rd CC in location, and GuMiho doesn't even check for that. So GuMiho not even checking for the 3rd base at the moment. It's going to be a little bit costly, as we see 2 more medevacs up the right side. Now it's going to be HeroMarine. He looks to get aggressive. He looks to drop here and to try and get some damage done. So He's going to be moving up the right. Let's see what he can get up to. You can see there's some Marines and a medevac moving over to the left as well. +1 attack going to be finishing shortly here from GuMiho. Well, again, HeroMarine is... But we'll see how much he can do. GuMiho, that +1's actually a huge advantage timing for him. His stim pack's a little ways away, 30 seconds. But he's also going to have... He's actually going to have a way slower combat shields. Just in general, his bio upgrades here are way slower. He will kill one tank almost instantly with these with his tank of his own. Now he'll pull some SCVs in. Doesn't want to lose too many, of course, because he isn't in a position where he can afford to lose too many. He only loses 3, and I think that's pretty reasonable, pretty respectable. His own third base is actually going to finish very shortly, so it's not too far behind that of HeroMarines. HeroMarine will scan there looking to see if that is the situation. Big stim over here is one single Marine. Is going to take down an SCV. Don't know if he really required to stim kind of 20 Marines over in position to deal with that. These 2 medevacs then will come in towards the center of the map, and HeroMarine will keep his 2 Marines alive. Again, those Marines still gathering to the right-hand side. HeroMarine looking to see what else he can get up to. I mean, +1 armor for GuMiho. While he had the +1 attack advantage, the +1 armor is much later for him, as he does just get combat shields in time to take the skirmish. And actually, this is nice because HeroMarine does not know just how much from GuMiho is starting to move down this central sort of position on the map. Can GuMiho take a fight in the next 20 seconds? If he could take a fight in the next 20 seconds, it would be huge for him. A couple of Vikings poking away at a medevac. I don't think he can. Just because that would be kind of when he wouldn't be behind on the +1 armor, and he would be ahead on the +1 attack. Those upgrades finishing from HeroMarine makes a huge difference, as someone is going to lag out of this game. Who is dying? It's not us, is it? Shouldn't be.
Game paused.
A little bit of lag. And GuMiho's got a third base up, so it's not like he has to push in and win this game right now. He's just looking for opportunities. We'll see if he finds something. We'll resume this game when the players are ready. We'll be able to go into this. We'll see how it happens. Alright, Tech TV gonna be dropping here. Hopefully something we can survive through. Okay. Game will continue then. Take TV and lag out. Okay, this is bad. Hopefully my pause went through. Looks as though Take TV are completely dying out of this game. So I think they want to recover this game. Sorry guys, try to figure this out. I think we're gonna resume. So, GuMiho sieges on the high ground. He's got Vikings in his steed, and these Marines will stem forwards for some Viking kills. He's gonna get one of them, not both. Vikings on the way from HeroMarine, because obviously at this point, controlling the air can become very important. Ooh, you're gonna stem forwards? You're gonna take this fight? This was nice by GuMiho. A very quick response to kind of just pull away up north in towards the center of the map. A very good way to kind of pull away from this. These two medevacs are going to be going up the right side as well. Another scan comes down. GuMiho sees an opportunity. Only one tank siege. He pushes in. One tank goes down. He's got a lot of Marines here as well. GuMiho's going to push through. He's just got so many Marines, man, and they are just going to keep on doing the damage they need to. We'll pull away from the final tank. The two tanks in the back are nice, and GuMiho puts himself in a nice position. Reinforcements at home will be good enough, probably, to shut down this double drop. I mean, he's got a lot of them. He's going to run into them right now, and GuMiho will just instantly stim at them. And HeroMarine is in trouble. His third base has been lifted. His third base has been lifted, and we are just going to be seeing GuMiho here. Oh, he's actually going to kill this army in the middle. Oh, that's so bad. HeroMarine should have been able to keep those alive. You know what? It was bad that he got found. He should have been able to escape with the majority of it. That is unfortunate. Marines stimming forwards. The tank is in position still, and well, a few Marines that are left here. The upgrades are even, but the tank fight is just going to change things so much in favor of GuMiho, and he's still in position to keep pushing towards the third base. There is two tanks right now. The Marines are so far set back. Oh, GuMiho just going to go for a big drop into the main, because obviously HeroMarine is so preoccupied defending the third base, and this could just be a drop which really pushes HeroMarine out of this series. And what a series it has been. It's been a great TVT. It's been close. It's been back and forth. We've had games we've had very good games in this series. We really have. But right now, it might just be a little bit too much, as those Marines will break the main. Meanwhile, the third base is also being attacked. And that will be GG.